Hi everyone, welcome back to Stories by the Window. Today's story is about how one piece of chalk, a simple maze, and a little girl helped a young man discover a talent he never knew he had. Let's begin. I thought my life was over, but I was wrong. It all started the day I failed another job interview. The office was cold, the receptionist didn't look at me, and the interviewer kept checking their watch. I walked out already knowing what would happen next. No phone call. No email. Just silence. I walked around the city, not really going anywhere. I didn't want to see my reflection in the glass windows. After a while, I found a small park and sat on a bench. I watched people walk by. They looked like they knew where they were going. Like they had a plan. But I didn't. I had no job. I had no confidence. I had no special skill, and worst of all, I didn't know what I was good at. Just find your passion, people always said. But what if I didn't have one? I tried cooking, made soup that tasted like warm water. I tried coding, but stopped at the word function. I tried writing, the page stayed empty, the cursor just blinked. I even tried helping at my cousin's cafe but only lasted 3 days. I spilled coffee, gave people the wrong food, and once forgot to charge someone for a whole meal. My cousin smiled when he let me go, but I could tell he was relieved. That's when I started to believe I had no talent. Maybe I was just average. Or maybe even less than that. That afternoon, I stayed in the park, feeling tired and unsure. I didn't know what I was doing with my life. The world around me didn't stop. A little kid laughed as bubbles floated in the air. A man in a suit spoke loudly into his phone. Someone ran past me with music in their ears. And me? I just sat there, feeling invisible. Then something unexpected happened. A little girl walked up to me. She had curly hair, scraped knees, and a huge smile. She looked about 6 years old. She held a box of chalk in one hand. "Mister," she said, "do you want to play a game?" I looked around. I didn't see any adults nearby. Just this tiny kid with so much energy. What game?" I asked. "Chalk maze," she said with a big grin, like it was the best game in the world. Before I could say anything, she bent down and started drawing random lines on the pavement. "You draw the maze," she said, "and I will try to escape." I looked at her, then at the chalk. I didn't know what else to do, so I picked up a blue piece and started drawing. I made a simple maze. One path, one way out. She finished it in 3 seconds. "Too easy," she said, laughing. "Make it harder." So I made it bigger. More turns. A few dead ends. She kept playing, pretending to be stuck. She spun in circles and laughed loudly before escaping the maze and shouting, "I did it!" Her laugh was bright and made me smile. It was hard not to join in. I kept drawing. She kept solving. I started adding fun things to the maze: loops, fake exits, and even small drawings along the path. A monster standing in the wrong direction. A slice of pizza hiding in a corner. A sign that said, "Wrong way, turn back." People started to stop and watch. A man with a cup of coffee. 2 college students riding bikes. An old woman walking her dog. I saw them smiling. One person took a picture. Another clapped when the girl finished a hard maze. I didn't even notice how much time had passed. 2 hours had gone by. I was still sitting on the ground, covered in chalk dust. My knees hurt. But I didn't care. I was surrounded by strangers who were enjoying something I made. Then, the girl's mother called her from across the park. She ran off, waving at me. "Thank you so much, maze man," she shouted. I sat there for a moment, still holding the chalk. Then one of the students walked over to me. "Hey," he said, "do you study design or something?" I laughed. "No. I just failed a marketing interview this morning." He looked surprised. "Really? That maze stuff was smart. Have you ever tried making puzzles? I blinked. Is that something people actually do? He nodded. Yes. There are whole groups of people who make escape rooms, mazes, and logic puzzles. Some of them even get paid for it. He showed me his phone. There were websites with hand-drawn mazes, puzzle blogs, and YouTube videos of people creating challenges. Some did it just for fun. Others made money from it too. That night, I didn't open any job websites. Instead, I picked up an old notebook. I started drawing, one maze. Then another. And another. Some were simple, just lines and curves. Some were shaped like animals or cities. Some had little stories. One maze was about a cat lost in a sushi restaurant. Another was about a robot trying to get home during a storm. I added tiny stick figures and wrote funny labels. I used highlighters to add color. Then I posted one maze on a random puzzle forum, just to see what would happen. To my surprise, people liked it. They left comments. Some shared it. One person even asked for a printable version for their kids. So I kept going. I created a blog. Then I made an Instagram account. One day, I got a message. Can I use your maze in my children's workbook? I'd love to pay you for it. I stared at the screen, frozen. Someone wanted to pay me. Me, the guy who couldn't even boil eggs without forgetting the water. Soon after that, a small game developer sent me a message. Hey, we're making a puzzle app. Want to work together? At first, I wanted to say no. I wasn't a professional. I didn't know how to code. I had never used game tools before. But then I thought about the little girl in the park. Her laugh. The way people stopped to watch. How alive I felt that day. So I said yes. It was not easy. I had to learn how to use design software. I had to redraw puzzles again and again. I had to test everything, fix mistakes, and talk with developers in different time zones. But when the app finally came out, people started playing my puzzles. Some even left kind reviews, like "My kid plays this every night." And this helped me during a hard week. At that moment, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. I felt proud. I felt useful. Maybe I did have a talent after all. Now I run a small puzzle brand. I sell maze books online. I teach workshops at schools. Once, I even designed an escape room for a local library. I'm not famous. I don't make six figures, but I earn enough. And I'm finally doing something I love. All because one little girl asked if I wanted to play. When I look back, I didn't suddenly wake up and discover a gift. I didn't plan for this. I found it by accident, by saying yes to a child's simple question, by picking up a piece of chalk instead of checking my phone. I still don't have everything figured out. I still make mistakes. But I no longer believe that I have no talent. Because talent doesn't always look like a trophy or a certificate. Sometimes, talent feels like joy. It sounds like laughter. And it starts with something small that makes you happy, even if no one is watching. And every time I start a new maze, I remember that day in the park. The blue chalk, the girl who called me Maze Man, and the version of me who sat on a bench, thinking life was over. He was wrong, very wrong. Sometimes, the things we're looking for show up when we least expect them. All we need is to stay open and keep trying. I hope this helped you practice English and maybe reminded you that it's okay to not have it all figured out yet. If you liked it, kindly like, subscribe, comment, and share. Keep going, be kind to yourself, and see you again on Stories by the Window.